this is kind of like working theory that I got on how chosen ones protection works to a certain extent and like kind of what it is. So the chosen one is not a certain amount of people. It's 144,000. It doesn't mean there's 144,000 people that are this type of person. What I think it is a frequency that allows certain things to happen. Once you are able to connect to it and like raise your frequency to this part. Now, not everybody can do this. I think that God has chosen certain individuals with certain character traits, with certain combination of character traits, right? For whatever, mission or journey you have. I think that basically you're able, and just because you're able to do something doesn't mean you actually do it. But God allows certain ones that he has chosen to access his frequency. Okay, so once you're able to access his frequency in your life, it enables certain types of protection measures that are very advanced to the point where they're not logical at all. And this is just a working theory on some of it. This is definitely not all of it. But basically, I'm going to give like an example of how I think some of it works. Because the chosen one frequency, the 144,000, is a high speed connection. So think of it like an internet connection. Like, when you're buying your internet, it's by speed, right? Like 500 gigabytes download or something, or like a 1 gig connection download. This connection is the highest speed connection you can get, and it's only for certain people. Like, it's only allowed for certain people to get this connection to God in a high speed way, meaning large amounts of information can be given to you easily and in different ways. And it's just like a high speed connection. It's a very close connection. It means like you're closer to God, basically. Like, there's less distance to travel for the information to go, so it's very quick. I don't know. It's just kind of how it's coming to me. So, as far as like protection stuff goes, like, all right, this is a complete random example. This is not from my personal experience. I'm just making this up. Okay, let me get that clear. All right, so say there's some people that want to shoot me up at the McDonald's, right? They're gonna shoot me up at the McDonald's. When I go to McDonald's, they're gonna shoot me up. So I'm sitting at my house, like, man, I'm hungry. I want to go to McDonald's, get something to eat. So I get up to go get my car, and I'm like, oh yeah, you know what? I forgot that my mom needed some things from the grocery store. Let me go there first. So I go to the grocery store and start getting whatever she needed from the grocery store. And I'm like, you know what? Instead of going to McDonald's, let me just get whatever I want to eat from here and eat better. And, you know what I mean? I don't need to be eating that McDonald's crap anyways. Let me just grab some food here, and then I'll just go back to the house and cook it for myself, right? So then you get all this stuff. You get the stuff for your mom, make her happy. You get better food for yourself, right? And then you go home and you make your food, and that's it. Nothing ever happened. You don't know any different. You didn't know people were trying to kill you at the McDonald's and they were sitting up there waiting on you, right? You don't know anything happened. You wouldn't know any different, right? but it never happened. Those people might have been sitting up there waiting on you or something, you know what I mean? And you just survived a life threatening event, not even knowing it, right? Like, you got the information so fast and so ahead of time that you didn't even know you were getting information. Like, it just seemed normal to you, right? You just seemed like you were going about your normal day, even though it was a detour. Like, you were supposed to go to that McDonald's that day. And the information, they were able to send in the information in a way that doesn't freak you out. It doesn't really change much. It's just like, oh, I was going to go to the grocery store anyways. Instead of going to the grocery store after I went to McDonald's, I'm just going to go to it now. And then it changes the whole setup, the timeline, basically. It's like a way to not manipulate timelines, but like, it's a protection. It's like a way to pivot where still the same actions kind of happen, just in a different sequence that avoids danger or obstacles that are not destined for you. Like, I don't know, it's hard to explain in like a way that makes sense, but I feel like a lot of the protection is like that, where like you'll avoid stuff unknowingly, and it won't, like, you'll not even know that someone was about to kill you, or you're about to be, whatever it was, that's, like I said, it's just a random example, but that, and like the people are trying to attack you are like, how the fuck did he know that we were going to be up here? And really, I didn't know. I had no clue. But that's the thing. Did I really need to know? Right? Not really. I just needed to follow my guidance, right? And not have any questions about it. And that's why it's just faith, right? You have blind faith that the Most High God is going to take care of you and going to keep you on the best path for you at all times. And it's so seamless and so like magical and flawless that it doesn't make sense to the average person. Like, it just doesn't. It's in a way that is very hard to explain, and like, from outside looking in, it just looks like I made a different decision, but really, did I make that decision? Or was that decision given to me, right? Was that information kind of sent in at a fast speed and able to change the outcome, right? Because everything's energy. So like, say, this is how I think it kind of works. So say that those people, those enemies, they've already gotten in that energy of attacking me, right? Their energy is already there. Like, they already know they're going to attack me. They're going to McDonald's, they're going to attack me. So they're operating on a slower speed. So you need to understand that everything you do is spiritually based, and it's a loop that goes from like the 5D spiritual world, or whatever you want to call it, back to 3D, and it's a loop back and forth of the things that you do in whatever, right? So say these people, if they're going to kill somebody, they probably have demon attachments or demons in some form around them, right? So that connection to them is what's guiding those people up there to do this bad thing, right? To do the killing or whatever. So that connection is always going to be slower than a high speed direct connection that I have, because I'm really close to God. So God is able to read that signal that they are getting from the demon to them, right? See the energy, and able to make a decision and send me a quick response to say, hey, I've read that I've been alerted to that this energy is in the air. Now, just because the energy is there doesn't mean it happened. Like, you can have the energy to go fight somebody and then never do it. You just want to fuck them up. Like, you want to beat their ass, but then you're just sitting there and you never do anything, right? But the energy was there for that to happen. Okay? It doesn't mean it happened. So those people might have actually went up there, or maybe they didn't even leave their house, but there was energy there for that's what they were going to do. It's just that I have a higher speed connection to the spiritual, right? And it was able to get different directions in a quick enough time to reroute and avoid the possible danger that I could have been in. Now, whether that those people actually went to McDonald's to do it or not, but the energy was there for them to do that. Okay, and that's kind of how I think it works. It's a back and forth connection. Like, all of your decision making is not done in your head, and that's part of the key to this. When you get thoughts in your head, sometimes those may not really be your thoughts. And I mean, a lot of them are, but they're in your voice. But just because it's in your voice doesn't mean that that information of that voice, coming into you and playing, because you have like an inner monologue in your head, right? Whenever you have thoughts, it's always in your voice, right? But that information to go up to that McDonald's, that might have not really came from you yourself. It could have been like a demon attachment interrupting that signal to source, or to the spiritual realm, basically, and saying, hey. And they send that energy, that dark energy, right, to go and do this thing. So God sees, hey, this energy is there for this bad thing to happen. I'm going to send a quicker signal, right, that outpaces that signal, and tell my person, my chosen one, to go and do something else, right? So that there's not even a possibility for that thing to happen. Right? Whether the energy's there or not for them to come attack me, it doesn't matter, because there's already been a signal sent to me to go do something else to completely avoid the situation. Right? And I think that's kind of how the protection works. It's just a matter of speed on decision making. But if you don't listen, like say I wasn't in tune with God, say I didn't have full faith in God, and I was like questioning, like, oh, should I go to McDonald's? Like, man, I really want one of them hamburgers, but I know I shouldn't. You know what I mean? I'm like going back and forth. Like, should I go get my mom this food and eat better, or should I go to, McDonald's because this hamburgers really? And you're like going back and forth. That's what's going to get you caught up. But to get to that chosen one frequency, you're in full faith and full connection with the Most High God. That God always has your best interest and your highest good for you. And I've seen it countless times happen in my own personal life, to where things play out in my favor because I listened and I did what felt right. I listened to my intuition, right? What your intuition is, that signal coming into you, right? And it'll like come into your stomach. There's certain chakras and stuff, and maybe your certain chakras, like your antenna or something, it comes in, you can feel it come in, and you're like, oh shit. I get that intuition, like, I should go do something else. But you need to listen to it. The first thought is always the right one. It's like always right. When you second guess shit is when you start messing up, because that first thought, that first hit intuition is that signal coming in. But a lot of people either don't listen to it, or they ignore it, or think it's not valuable, or they're just not confident that the signal coming in is the right one. I know it is, because I've been through enough experiences and have enough faith that it's the right thing. I know I'm connected to the right thing, and that it's always worked out in my favor 100% of the time. So at this point, like, I would be completely dumb not to listen to it, right? Not to listen to my intuition, not to believe myself, even if I don't want to. There's been times where I didn't even want to listen to it, but I'm like, damn, I know it's right, but I don't want to listen to it, because I don't want that McDonald's hamburger. That thing is juicy, and I ain't had McDonald's in a year, and it just hits a certain spot. I want that burger so bad, but I know that I should not go get that hamburger. You know what I'm saying? So you have to really make that decision to go with what's right instead of, you know, letting like, not lust, what's it, you know, your vices basically take over, and you have to have that faith that you're being guided in the right direction. And I think that's kind of how it works. I think that's a good way to say it. I don't know. That's how it's coming out. Let me know what y'all think. Drop some questions, comments. All right. Peace.